Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranams to you. So, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Dandavat pranams. So, welcoming you all for today's session on Nityam Bhagavatha Sevaya. So, today we have His Grace Sankarshan Nitai Prabhu. So, who will be taking today's session. So, Prabhuji, welcome. Thank you for taking time off and then giving your association to us. So, we're all looking forward for the nectar that you're going to deliver. So, thank you so much, Prabhu. So, I request you to kindly go ahead and then you can take over, Prabhu. Welcome once again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, Prabhu, please let me know if you want me to share the screen, the verses, or you will be able to.
I will share, Prabhuji. I will share.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, Prabhu, my audio and video, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu, your video is okay. Audio is also fine. Yes.
Okay, right, Prabhu. Then I will share the screen and then we will start, Prabhu. Yes.
Akshanathan Prabhuji, you can spotlight Sankarshan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Haribol, Venkatramana Prabhu, Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. So, Hare Krishna, devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. So, thank you so much and welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So, let me share the screen for the verse. Yeah. So, please let me know, Prabhu, if you are able to see it.
Yes, Prabhu, we can see now.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumar. Canto 5, chapter 4, verse number 18 and 19. We'll start with 18. Bhagavata Rushabhena Parirakshyamanam Ye tasmin varshe na kaschana purusho vanchati avidyamanam Ivatmano anyasmat kathanchana kimapi karhichit avekshate bhartari anusavanam vijrumbhita snehatishayam antarena. So this verse is in prose, so we couldn't get the proper tune. So we'll see the synonyms. Bhagavata, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishabhena, King Rishabha, Parirakshayamane, being protected, etasmin, on this Varshe planet, no, not Kaschana, anyone, Purushaha, even a common man, Vanchati, desires, Avidyamanam, not existing in reality, Iva, as if, Atmanaha, for himself, Anyasmat, from anyone else, Kathanchana, by any means, Kimapi, anything, Karhichit, at any time, Avekshate, does care to see, Bhartari, towards the master, Anusavanam, always, Vijrumbhita, expanding, Sneha Atishayam, very great affection, Antarena, within oneself. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. No one likes to possess anything that is like a will over the wisp or a flower in the sky, for everyone knows very well that such things do not exist. When Lord Rishabhadeva ruled this planet of Bharata Varsha, even a common man did not want to. Everyone was completely satisfied. Therefore, there was no chance of anyone's asking for anything. The people were absorbed in great affection for the king. Since this affection was always expanding, they were not inclined to ask for anything. Purport. In Bengal, the word Ghoda Dimba is used, which means the egg of a horse. Since a horse never lays an egg, the word Ghoda Dimba actually has no meaning. In Sanskrit, there is a word Ka Pushpa, which means the flower in the sky. No flower grows in the sky. Therefore, no one is interested in asking for Ka Pushpa or Ghoda Dimba. During the reign of Maharaj Rishabhadeva, people were so well equipped that they did not want to ask for anything. They were immensely supplied with all necessities of life due to King Rishabhadeva's good government. Consequently, everyone felt full satisfaction and did not want anything. This is a perfection of government. If the citizens are unhappy due to the bad government, the heads of the government are condemned. During these democratic days, monarchy is disliked by the people, but here is an example of how an emperor of the whole world kept all citizens fully satisfied by supplying the necessities of life and following the Vedic principles. Thus, everyone was happy during the reign of Maharaja Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Umajnanatimirandhasya gnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीन्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावद कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna. So once again, I would like to welcome all the devotees for morning Bhagavatam class. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. So I would like to seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that I can do the service for my own purification. So, so here, so this chapter is about, it's entitled The Characteristics of Lord Rishabhadeva. Right? So Lord Rishabhadeva is the incarnation of Lord. In fact, the very word Rishabha means for recap, and then we can come to this first. So yeah, you can see here. So this is the characteristics of Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Lord. In this chapter, Rishabhadeva, the son of Maharaj Nabhi, begot 100 sons, and during the reign of those sons, the world was very happy in all respects. This is amazing. When Rishabhadeva appeared as the son of Maharaj Nabhi, he was appreciated by the people as the most exalted and beautiful personality of the days. His poise, influence, strength, enthusiasm, bodily luster, and other transcendental qualities were beyond compare. The word Rishabha we are discussing, the word Rishabha refers to the best or the supreme. Due to the super excellent attributes of the son of Maharaj Nabhi, the king named his son Rishabha the best. His influence was incomparable, although there was a scarcity of rain. Rishabhadeva did not care for Indra. So this is one time when Indra became very envious. He became envious of Lord Rishabhadeva due to his growing influence. Then the Lord, being the supreme independent, we Janmadhyasya Yatonvayat Itaratas Syarthe Abhigna Swarat. Swarat means independent. So he does not need to depend on anyone. So when Indra became envious, he just smiled and then the rain showered. So that is the, that is extraordinary influence. Although there was a scarcity of rain, Rishabhadeva did not care for Indra, the king of heaven, who is in charge of the supplying rain. Through his own potency, Rishabhadeva sumptuously covered Ajanabha with ample rain. So that the land of the tract that is. After that, he entrusted the ruling power to him, and retiring from family life, lived at the Badrikashram, completely engaged in the worship of Vasudeva, the Supreme Lord. Like father, like son, you can say. So the Nabhi, he has set such a great example. So he was rising Lord Rishabhadeva very carefully. At the end, once he is grown up, he has hand over the kingdom, and then he retired, and then uh, completely devoted his life. So to follow social customs, Lord Rishabhadeva for a while became a student in the Gurukula, and after returning, he followed the orders of his Guru and accepted a wife named Jayanti, who had been given to him by the king of heaven, Indra. So again, I know in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, see, I don't have any work to perform, but still I perform the work just to maintain the peace and prosperity in the world. So whatever Lord does, people try to follow. That is why Lord accepts that social customs. Although there is no need for him to accept, still he accepts it. So he went to Gurukul and received the education, and yeah, finally he accepted a wife named Jayanti. Then he begot 100 sons in the womb of Jayanti. Of these 100 sons, the eldest was known as the Bharata. So here again there is, yeah, you can see here. Since the reign of Maharaj Bharata, the planet has been called Bharata Varsha. Rishabhadeva's other sons were headed by Kushavarta, Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indraspruk, Vidarbha, Kikata. There were also other sons named Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. So here, this one very interesting point, if we can note here. He has 100 sons. Lord Rishabhadeva had 100 sons. In that, 9 of them became the Navayogindras, the Paramahamsa devotees of the Lord. And the 81 sons actually have become the qualified Brahmanas. And the remaining 10 supermost, who after whose name the entire Bharatavarsha is named. So the Rishabhadeva is a Kshatriya, and his sons, some of them are Brahmanas, some of them are Kshatriya, some of them are Paramahamsa Vaishnavas. So what does it mean? That means that so the Varnashrama is basically not based on the birth, it's based on the activities and the qualifications. The same thing the Lord was saying in the Bhagavad Gita. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashta. There is never like based on the birth. But somehow the misconception has so much prevalent in this world. But here we can clearly see the son of a Kshatriya can become a Brahmana. Why? Because of the quality of the Brahmana. So, following the religious perceptions of their characteristics and activities are described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam during the talks between Vasudeva and Narada at Kurukshetra. So, this is about the Navayogindra's pastime that comes in the 11th canto. To teach the general populace, King Rishabhadeva performed many sacrifices and taught his sons how to rule the citizen. So this is very important, which is leading to the today's verse actually. So we'll come back again. So you can see here, these are the different characteristics of the Lord. So the son was equal to everyone, very peaceful. He could control his senses and his mind, and possessing all opulence. He did
Hare Krishna, I think we lost him. I'll just wait for him to come back.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, we can hear you.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Now we can hear you and see you.
Okay. Yeah, Prabhu, how long it's got disconnected, Prabhu? Any idea? Just 2-3 minutes?
Maybe a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now you can see the screen, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes, we can see the screen. But I just want to tell you that in between also your audio was getting lost. So I'm not sure if there's a bandwidth issue. In which case, then maybe you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you. Okay, continue, Prabhu. Let's continue.
Yeah, I think suddenly that disconnection happened through internet. So I think, yeah, that's one. Yeah.
No problem. Continue. Please
Yeah.
continue.
Yes. Yeah. So Rishabhadeva, Lord Rishabhadeva, he performed many sacrifices and he taught the same thing to his citizens also. So now you can see here, when the son of Maharaj Navi became visible, he evinced all good qualities, namely a well-built body with all the symptoms of Godhead, prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, everything. When the father Maharaj Nabhi saw all these qualities, he thought his son to be the best of human being, and then he gave the name Rishabha. So that is the name. So Indra, who is very materially opulent, became envious of King Rishabhadeva. Consequently, he stopped pouring water on the planet. At that time, Supreme Lord, the master of all mystic power, Lord is called Yogeshwara, understood King Indra's purpose and smiled a little. Then by his own prowess, through Yogamaya, he profusely poured water upon his own palace, which is known as Ajanapa. It's amazing. So, due to getting a perfect son according to his desire, King Navi was always overwhelmed with transcendental bliss and was very affectionate to his son. It was with ecstasy and faltering voice that he addressed, "My dear son, my dear darling." This mentality was brought about by Yogamaya, whereby he accepted the Supreme Lord, Father, as his own son. Out of his supreme goodwill, the Lord became his son and dealt with everyone as if he were an ordinary human being. Thus, King Nobby began to raise his transcendental son with great affection, and he was overwhelmed with transcendental. So, yeah, so here in the fifth sloka, King Nabhi was actually giving the rule to Rishabhadev, and then he's going to the Himalayas. And then here Nabhi's glorification was there. Yes, here the Rishabhadeva, he therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of a householder by first accepting brahmacharya under the direction of the spiritual master, and then he went to live at the spiritual master's place, Gurukula. After his education was finished, he gave gifts to his spiritual master, Guru Dakshina, and then accepted the life of a householder. He took a wife named Jayanti and begot 100 sons who were as powerful and qualified as he himself. So Jayanti had been offered him by Indra, the king of heaven. So they performed, Rishabhadeva and Jayanti performed householder life in an exemplary way, carrying out ritualistic activities ordained by Shruti and Smriti mantra. Yeah. So here again the same discussion that we have discussed about the sons of Rishabhadeva. So we come to this 18th shloka, today's shloka, that is, yeah, so just before 18th shloka, let me just go through the 17th shloka, which is very much connecting to the 18th one. So in the 17th, it is said, Lord Rishabhadeva performed all kinds of sacrifices 100 times according to the instructions of the Vedic literature. Thus, he satisfied Lord Vishnu in every respect. All the rituals were enriched by first-class ingredients. They were executed in holy places according to the proper time by priests who were all young and faithful. In this way, Lord Vishnu was worshipped and prasada was offered to all the demigods. Thus, the functions and festivals were all successful. So, it now comes to the 18th shloka. Because Lord Rishabha was performing the activities for the pleasure of the Lord, then he is automatically satisfying all the citizens. Satisfied, automatically all the citizens were satisfied. So that is how it is. That is why in this 18th shloka you can see the citizens, they were actually so intelligent that they don't want to ask for anything. So Prabhupada mentions here the word will o' the wisp or a flower in the sky. What is the meaning of will o' the wisp? That means that which does not exist. Like you can say flower of sky, flower in the sky. That is akasa pushpayate. Right? So there is so I was just going through what is this will o' the wisp, the actual meaning. So you can see here, yeah. So yeah. So you can see the in I think in the previous times it is called actually some foolish flame kind of thing. Means it appears like a flame and it is used to misdirect the travelers actually, so that they will go inside and then get trapped in that. That is what is the actual word. Will o' the wisp means that is there is not light. The light is not there, but it appears that there is a light due to some different reactions. So they go inside and then get trapped. So similarly, in this world, there are many things that trap. It appears that there is something, but there is nothing actually. That is called will o' the wisp. Like Prabhupada gives an example, flower in the sky means generally the flowers are grown on the ground, but there is no flower grown in the akasha. That is called akasa pushpa, right? So the citizens of Lord Rishabhadeva were so intelligent that they don't want to ask for anything which is of no value at all. What is the meaning of that? That is in the synonyms in the actual word. Prabhupada writes avidyamanam. a lecture. So Vidya means what? Vidya means to know about the source and purpose of anything. So that means, yeah. So see, suppose anything in this world, you can take that. What is the source of this? The source of everything is Krishna, and the purpose of everything is to be engaged in Krishna's service. If somebody knows this, that is Vidya. Avidya means what? Avidya means to see the things which are disconnected from Krishna. There is actually nothing disconnected from Krishna. But if somebody does see that, that is avidya, right? So what is exactly meaning of this will o' the wisp in this context is that they don't want to ask for something material, something of of which is of no value. Means it's telling that, see, this world is called Dukhalayam Shashvatam. Means this world is full of miseries. Correct. So there is no point in expecting happiness in this world. That is what is below the wisp. So if somebody is expecting happiness in a place of misery, is actually the which is an unreasonable expectation. So these the citizens of the Rishabhadeva, they were actually common. They are actually very intelligent, that even the common men are not asking for anything. Why? Because they have developed a great affection for the king, who is none other than Supreme Lord himself. So now somebody may ask, are you sure there is no drop? There is no happiness in this world? There is happiness, but it's compared to a drop in the ocean. This world is called Maithunagar, right? So there is a Karagar, means jail. Jail means all the shackles and everything. But this world is called Maithunagar, shackles of sex life. Means there is no visible shackles, but people doesn't want to get out of this world. So in a sense, it's a jail only. Then although a lot of Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika, so many kleshas constantly torment the jivas, but still people doesn't want to get out of it. That is why this is called Maithunagar. So there is a drop of pleasure. That is why people doesn't want to get out. But the problem is, all of us, all of the jivas are actually wanting the ocean of happiness. That is, it is said Anandamayo Bhyasat. We are actually looking for an ocean of happiness. But this world, whatever we do, we can just get the drop of that original transcendental happiness. Correct. So it is like saying that I was hearing one funny story, that a person is actually going in a forest. He was so very thirsty, very, very thirsty, so almost at the verge of death. So he saw everywhere in the desert there is no water at all. But suddenly there is one helicopter comes almost to that person. It's coming, approaching that person. On the helicopter, it's written with the big words, water. Everywhere it is written water, water, water. And it landed in front of him. And the pilot, he came out, the driver came out, and on his shirt, everywhere it was written water. And in the jug, he was bringing a big pot or jug or something. On that also, it is written water, water, water. So this person thinks that, oh, finally, I'm getting the water, like that. He is so excited. So, but when the jug opened, there is only one drop of water. Whereas that person was looking for so much of water, there's just one drop of water, right? So that is the nature of this world. We expect a lot from this world, and finally, just get out just only a fraction of it. That is why, it's not a good idea. Prahlad Maharaj says that if somebody wants to be happy in this world, they don't, first thing is they should not try to become happy in this world. Means all the things that there is a lot of advertisement, lot of propaganda, that if you try this you will get happiness. So much of propaganda is happening. So that is why an intelligent person always looks in a proper way where exactly we get the happiness. Correct. So happiness is there. So in one of the great Vaishnava devotee, he was telling Prabodhananda Saraswati. There also it comes the same word. He was telling that when somebody becomes absorbed in bhakti, for them this world will become a very happy place. What is that? Uh, Purnam, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. He tells that the whole world will be transform into a very, very happy place. Why? Because everywhere he sees Krishna. For him, Kaivalyam Narakayate. The Kaivalya merging into the Lord becomes like a hell. Tridasha Pura Akasa Pushpayate. He tells that all the pleasures in the material world, especially the heavenly pleasures that very much is sought after, that will become like an akasa pushpa. Means it doesn't take, because it has become a very, very tiny in front of the ocean of happiness one gets in the bhakti ananda. So Prahlad Maharaj says that bhavananda, means the ananda in this world is like a drop in the ocean in front of what is that, the Brahman platform happiness, the platform in the Brahman platform happiness. And the platform and the happiness in the Brahman platform is like a drop in the ocean of the Bhakti Ananda. It's like that. So if somebody is experiencing bhakti, that is when he understood that this world is full of happy place. That is. So here you can see here in the purport tells the same thing. In the Bengal, there is a word called Ghoda Dimba, means the egg of a horse. So we are getting nothing out of it. That is called, what are you getting? I'm getting the egg of a horse. Means I am not getting anything like that. So here the word is there so that so basically we should not be asking for something which is not sustained, which does not sustain. That is the nature of this world. That is the word. So, and I was hearing that. So, but somebody say that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells this shloka, right? Ehi samsparshaja bhoga dukha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Buddha, the intelligent people, they don't enjoy the pleasures of this world. Why? Because the pleasures of this world have a source of misery. The pleasures are called source of misery. Means every pleasure that one is enjoying, eventually that will be taken care. So Prabhuji is giving an example of gulab jamun. Say I am eating gulab jamun. It is happiness, correct? I am eating, I am enjoying that pleasure. Then why do you say that it's a source of misery? Why? Because the more one gets the taste of that happiness, one becomes attached to it. And as soon as one becomes attached to it, it is inevitable that either the thing will be taken away from him or the person will be taken away from the thing due to the time, due to the factor of time. So at the end, eventually there will be misery only. Although at the beginning there will be some happiness, but at the end it all will be leading to a misery like that. So that is why an intelligent person always thinks that where is the real happiness. That is why the devotees are called connoisseurs of pleasure. In the Bhagavatam also it comes that there's one so one funny story. It's not a we were hearing the story from one of the stories in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I think you all might have heard the 5 paisa circus. 5 paisa circus means in this village, there is a big announcement that there is a circus, of 5 paisa. It's very, very cheap. 5 paisa, there it doesn't come any circus, but still there is a big advertisement. So people were very much thronging. They were going to that with so much of hope, so much of anticipation. But with all the line queued up, one person went inside, but there is nothing inside. So suddenly there are two very hefty build persons came and they just beat him like anything. So this person was wondering, what is this? I came for circus, but there is no circus, and in return, I'm getting all the beatings. But now he thinks that if I go like this, people will make fun of me. And they all will go away to home also. So I don't want to do that. I want everyone to suffer along with me. So what he does, he comes out and then he tells everyone, "Oh, amazing, very nice circus. Please go ahead. Please go inside." So this is what happens in this world. Whoever tries to make a big show of happiness in this world, that they're simply bluffing themselves and bluffing others also. So this is the story told by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So the intelligent person, he always know that where to repose his faith. So coming to the purport again. So during the reign of Maharaj Rishabhadeva, people were so well equipped that they did not want to ask for anything. And this is very important. You see, they there were different intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. There are different levels of needs, correct? So, but there is no limit for physical, mental, and intellectual and egoistic. There is no limit at all. Unless the spiritual need is completely satisfied, people are going to ask so many things, one after the other. Why? Because we are originally spiritual beings. And just like Prabhupada gives an example of fish in the water, unless you put the fish in the water, the fish cannot be happy. If you take the fish out of water, no matter whatever you can give the best of the pleasures, but the fish can never be happy. When you give that water, then automatically happy. Similarly, people, you may do all the physical needs, mental, emotional, they are very important. They're required also. They're very required. But the most important need is the spiritual need, connecting them with Krishna. When that need is satisfied, automatically all the other needs, although there is some discrepancy, there is some, this one is there in the previous needs, people will still get adjusted and then they'll be happy. So here the citizens, since they were serving the king, which means they were serving the Supreme Lord himself so nicely, every day their affection is increasing like anything. And due to that higher taste, they don't want to ask for anything less. That is wonderful. Although Lord Rishabhadeva was giving them, supplied them all the necessities of life, but still they don't want to ask for anything material. That is the Actually, this is the very good example of a king. The king actually has to be a very devoted person, very spiritual person, always taking guidance from the Brahmanas, and he should make sure, he should facilitate the people of the world to follow the dharma very nicely. This is leading someone. In the Bhagavatam, it tells that one should not become a mother, father, all the guardian and king. So one should not become unless one gives that shelter, one gives that knowledge, and then deliver the dependents. So here, King Rishabhadeva, he is an exemplary leader, exemplary king. Why? Because he himself is practicing all the rules of the scriptures, and he himself is doing all the necessary dharma, and he is asking everyone to do that. So that is why the people of the region, consequently, everyone felt full satisfaction and did not want anything. This is the perfection of government. Yes. So nowadays, the government may say that we are very secular. We don't want any religion to come, creep in and all. No, secular doesn't mean that there is no religion. Secular means allowing everyone to follow their own dharma peacefully. But I see that's what. So you can facilitate everyone to follow their own dharma nicely. Yeah. But eventually one has to come to this standard that whatever the religion that one may follow, one has to come to this platform of all the self-control, gratitude, and all the. So there are different things that Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. What are the items of knowledge? What are the different items of knowledge that constitute? So I was just going through that shloka. if whatever the religion that you follow, you have to come to this platform of displaying these qualities. That should be the government. So what is the qualities? Amanitvam alambitvam, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, old age, disease, and death, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, of self realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge. And besides this, whatever there may be ignorance. Krishna himself is directly telling that this is my mati, this is my, as per me, this is the knowledge. And whatever others is all actually ignorant. So the government should actually facilitate the people to do their own dharma, but eventually they should come to this platform. These qualities they should be exhibiting. Now, the problem is, see here, this is the perfection of God. If the citizens are unhappy due to a bad government, the heads of government are condemned. It's actually very, see, people are very, they are so eager to go get into the posts of the government. But unless if they know, the scripture tells that whatever the citizens does, 1/6 of their punya or 1/6 of their papa goes to the king. Correct? So if the citizens are not happy and they are doing all the sinful activities, eventually the king has to suffer. We know in the Krishna book also, there is one Brahmana who was losing all his sons, and he was actually giving the entire blame to the king himself. Why? Because so that is how the king, the pious king, is actually, he is the responsible for all the citizens' activities. So during the democratic days, monarchy is disliked by the people. But here is an example of how an emperor of the whole world kept all the citizens fully satisfied by supplying the necessities of life and following the Vedic principles. So nowadays, this democracy is very popular. So many countries sufficiently educated. See, if the people are well educated, they can choose the right king, they can choose the right government. But people are not very well. What is the meaning of well educated? Means not like BTech, MTech degree on all these, this and all. These are all there only for the getting the bread only for living. But actual Vidya means what Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita. That is, what is the matter, what is the spirit, what is the difference, who is the origin, who am I, who is God, what is my relation, how do I develop that relation. All these things are actually called knowledge, Vidya. So unless people are educated in these things, they're simply like an ignorant mass. And obviously, ignorant mass wants something very, sinful and like that. Correct? So whoever the leader comes, he tells, if I am opening one big, mall and big liquor house and things like that, people are voting them. Why? Because the people are, ignorance and sinful. They want the leader to help them in the sin. That is the problem with the democracy. Prabhupada tells many places that it is not democracy, it is demon crazy. So the demons crazy. All the people, they elect one demon who will help them to do more sinful activities like that. Just like, if there are small children are there who are very ignorant, if I tell them that, I will give you 2000 rupee note or I will give you one chocolate, what do you want? So they will immediately take the chocolate. Why? Because they don't have the long vision. They don't have the shreyas. They always go for the immediate pleasures. So if the people are ignorant, then the democracy will not lead to any peaceful situation in the society. So that is why we see many problem in the society. Although people elect the government, still they are unhappy. Why? Because the whole thing is missing. The leader himself doesn't know the goal of life, and he is taking all the people, andha yathandai rupagiyamana. It is said that the one blind man is leading to all other blind man ditch. That is what is happening in the name of democracy, which is which is very sad. No, so otherwise, if the people are electing, obviously they should shows that this is the fallacy of this thing. So thus everyone was happy during the reign of Maharaj Rishabha, the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is actually very practical. No, people say that scriptures, they are very like utopian world, they are something different, but the practical is something different. No, the Bhagavatam tells the real practical solution to all the problems. Prabhupada was so convinced that Bhagavatam, if somebody hears this knowledge, there will be a revolution in his transformation in his life. He's so convinced, and he has proved it. He has proved that how the people of the West who are completely engrossed in all these sinful activities could come out and then lead a amazing life, devotional life, because he had a complete faith in the Bhagavatam, in the mercy of Krishna and spiritual master, and in the holy name. So it is practical, provided we have the faith in them. It is very, very practical. Yeah. So that is, yeah. So we'll go to the next shloka, 5.14.19. Sakadachit, yeah, Sakadachit Atamano Bhagavan Rishabho Brahma Vartagato Brahmarshi Pravara Sabhayam Prajanam Nisha Mayantinam Atmajan Avahitamana Prashraya Pranaya Bhara Suyantritan Api Upasikshan Iti Hovacha. Translation: once while touring the world, Lord Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Lord, reached a place known as Brahmavarta. There was a great conference of learned Brahmanas at that place, and all the king's sons attentively heard the instructions of the Brahmanas there. At that assembly, within the well behaved, devoted, and qualified. He instructed them so that in the future they could rule the world very peacefully, very perfectly. Thus, he spoke as follows. Purport: the instruction of Lord Rishabhadeva to his sons are very valuable if one wants to live peacefully within this world, which is full of miseries. In the next chapter, Lord Rishabhadeva gives his sons this valuable instruction. So these are one of the great celebrated instructions. There are so many instructions throughout the Bhagavatam, and this coming chapter is a full of very powerful instructions by Lord Rishabhadeva to his 100 sons, that how to rule the world, how to first control and then rule the world. The very first sloka we all know, that Nayam Deho Deha Bhajandraloke Kastan Kaman Arhati Vidbhujami Tapo Divyam Putrakayena Satyam Sudhyet Yasmat Brahma Saukhyam Tvanantam. He's telling that, oh my dear sons, don't hanker for these material pleasures which are available even to hogs and dogs. Correct? So everyone eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So one may say that the humans are doing it very polished way, but at the end, the pleasure a dog gets by taking his food on the road, and the person gets his food taking in a big 5-star hotel or something, is actually same. When the person goes to sleep in a big skyscraper building and the dog goes to sleep on a road, the pleasure is same. So he's telling that don't go after these pleasures. Why? Because these pleasures are available even to the hogs and dogs. Then what should I work for? You work for tapo divyam putra kayena to develop. If you want to get the unlimited happiness, Brahma Saukhyam Tvanantam. If you want to get that Ananta happiness, what one has to do? One has to do Tapo Divyam, Putraka. Tapo Divyam means the divine tapasya that we need to do. By doing that, what happens? So here, the heart will be purified. And when the heart is purified, one can actually do the bhakti very blissfully. And then the actual original bliss can be experienced. So this is the first instruction Lord Rishabhadeva gives to his 100 sons. So he know all of them. They are going to be the rulers of the world. And the Bharat Maharaj is going to rule the entire world. All the other sons, he know. That is why he has given this first instruction that this is the foundation on which one has to go ahead in the life. So here the same thing, and then it's not that he's simply telling it and then just telling to others. No, he himself has led the life in such a way, and you can see in the further chapters also how after handing over the kingdom, he lived a life of a complete mendicant, complete renunciate. So much so that he is he is completely oblivious to the bodily needs. So that is the amazing perfect example Lord Rishabhadeva has given to his sons and the citizens, and due to that the citizens were completely happy. So here we can see that so this is what Lord Rishabhadev he just shown by his example that Yasmin Tushtam to Lord Krishna. Everybody automatically got satisfied, right? So the same thing we can see. Sometime we've seen. Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhu. There was some noise. I muted.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, right. So, in the Bhagavatam, there is a shloka which comes, Yatha taror mula nishechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka pranopahara yathendriyana tadhaiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. This one principle, one has to really understand. So this is the shloka. I just till the translation. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the tree, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Lord through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of the Supreme Lord. In fact, it satisfies when the demigods are satisfied, automatically citizens will be also satisfied because they are actually the foundation. They are giving the entire sustenance for the citizen. So this principle was completely demonstrated by Lord Rishabhadeva, and we can see in our lives also if we practice this thing, then automatically things will fall in place. Just like we have seen. Yeah. Just like we have seen some of the brahmacharis, we have seen some brahmacharis, they join the ashram and the parents were very, very unhappy. There so much of crying and so many things were there. But eventually, when the brahmachari is very stably situated and he's doing the service to Guru and Krishna, eventually Krishna helps the parents to understand that this is such an amazing service what he is doing, and he gives that happiness doing the service nicely, and he's satisfying Krishna. So Krishna made sure that the parents also becomes happy. Correct. So when you please Krishna, automatically everybody will be pleased. So this is one example of how to apply it in the practical life. So that's So Prabhu, I think I will stop here, Prabhuji. It's already 8:10. Yeah. Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful instructions.
Please forgive me, Prabhu, if I spoke anything beyond my capacity. and I simply seek prayers and blessings of the Vaishnavas. So I become sincere and follow whatever is there in Bhagavatam. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing on this wonderful mood. Thank you for instructing us, not only in your words, but also in the tone of your words. So thank you so much. In fact, I think you summarized the entire chapter very well. Actually, we are concluding this chapter. So the 19th sloka is the last one in this chapter. So wonderfully, you concluded by saying what is the primary duty of of us as individuals, where we just need to please Krishna, and that is not chasing the will of the West. So that's and also you spoke of how the characteristics of Rishabdev, and then how the Varnashrama system, how it was followed in those days. So you touched upon that also, and also uh, what is the general advice of not chasing imaginary things, which is the propensity that we have, and then how that is avidya, and vidya is opposite of that. And then you also brought out the like understanding the source and the purpose is so important. So you brought that aspect out, and then not seeing everything in connection with Krishna as avidya, and then accepting this place as dukhalayam and not chasing happiness is the Goda Bimba. And then, so you also said how we always want happiness, but then it's just a very small drop, small drop, like a very small one. And then you gave some wonderful examples to drive home the point. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. So devotees, you can unmute, and then if there are any comments or questions, I'm sure Prabhu would be very happy to take them.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. And the pastime of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. And that's the nature of the people. The 5 paisa.
Correct, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
There is a lot of show off actually. So unless Prabhupada really saved us. So just to see the vision actually. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah. Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Sachidana Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for
Hare
a
Krishna.
very wonderful class. And you mentioned one point that spiritual satisfaction that can give all the satisfactions that is needed for anybody. We should not settle for anything less.
Yeah. So
Ultimately, the jiva wants the spiritual satisfaction. Right?
correct. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. So that is like a complete superset, Prabhu. We know that other pleasure, other necessities are required, but even if there is some discrepancy in the previous physical, mental, emotional, and intellectual, if the spiritual need is done, then other needs will automatically be taken care. So because that is it gives us so much of joy that like we have heard that pastime of if 2 Vaishnavas are there in the room, they will sit. If then another Vaishnava comes, they will stand and hear Krishna Katha. So like that, they automatically adjust. Although there is a physical discomfort and all, if the spiritual need is taken care, then they don't mind there is some problem in the physical, emotional, like that. They don't mind it.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So anyone else has any other comment or question? Okay, so I think Prabhu, you made it so clear to everyone. Thank you so much once again, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So we can conclude with Vaishnav Pranams. So Prabhu, you want to do that? You can go.
Yes, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai Prabhupada ki jai yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai. Sankarshan Nitai Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
All glories to assembled Vaishnavas. Yeah.
So now we'll end the session for everyone.
Yes.
Devotees, thank you once again for joining. So we'll meet up tomorrow again.